Hey guys, welcome to Bow Hunting Soul. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about used bows, cheaper bows. Now it is just about August as we're recording this. And by the way, I hope the audio and all that stuff sounds pretty good. I'm using a newer camera on here. I've never actually tried it, so I hope this comes out good. So excuse it if the audio quality or video or whatever is a little is not the best. But anyway, um, this is my old compound. Now, it's funny if you go look on Archery Talk, they've got their listings and classifieds and stuff, and they've got different categories and hunting bows. They have a category called vintage, and that's like bows over 10 years old, which blew my mind. This thing's almost vintage because this is a 2011 Elite Pure. Now, um, what I really wanted to talk about today was, if you're going to get into archery and you're looking to get into archery and you're looking to pick up a bow, you're looking to get into hunting, and if you go look at the price tags of some of these bows out there today, they're astronomical. I mean, they start at like $1,000, and that's for like an aluminum riser bow. Some of the other carbon ones and Haizu flagship bows and stuff, they are probably they're doing lawn mowing over here, so I apologize if you hear the stuff in the background. Some of the higher end bows, they are probably like they start at like $1,500. It's just crazy. And I was just having this conversation with somebody the other day, and we're saying how there's a barrier to entry sometimes with trying to buy equipment and how expensive it can be, and it really doesn't have to be. If you go on places, now Archery Talk is not my favorite for a lot of things, don't get me wrong, and definitely buyer beware. But if you go on places like Archery Talk or some of these other forums and Facebook groups and stuff where they're selling used equipment, you can get really good deals on a perfectly functioning bow that works just fine. Again, now this one is one that I kind of, excuse me, mosquitoes, that I kind of custom built, meaning this was, this had different camo on it, and I really wanted like a black and white camo, so I took it all apart, and I had it custom dipped, and then, changed the limbs and changed the mods, the draw length and everything else. Now, I've had this for a long time. It's been very good for me, very successful. But as some of you guys, if you follow me, know, this is actually for sale. This is listed for sale because I'm going to switch 100% to traditional. But that doesn't mean that if you're after, a compound bow or whatever, that you can't find a really good deal, from someone like me. Or if you're looking for even a newer bow or more modern bow, then you got to realize that a lot of these guys, they will buy the flagship bow. They will pay $1,500, $1,000, $1,200, something whatever, for the brand new bow, and then sell it after the first season because they're chasing the latest and greatest. Not my thing. I'm not trying to insult you if you are, but that seems a little silly to me. But for those of you who are after a really good deal, that works out really, really well in your favor. So this bow, and I'm not trying to just do a commercial for my bow if this hasn't sold by the time I publish this, but I mean this one is, this one maxes out at like 55 pounds. You can buy used bows with varying poundages and draw lengths and that kind of thing. So you may need to change out your mods, okay, because it's a modular cam. You may have to do your draw length. You may have to change out some other stuff, but I'm listing this for about like 400 bucks, I think, 425, something like that, and I know I'll bargain down with that. But I'm selling it as a whole package, and you can get something like this as a whole package. I mean, if you look at it, I've got stabilizer on here. Got a really nice 4-pin black gold, Montana black gold sight on there. That's a damn ass nice sight. Has a QAD drop away rest. That's a nice rest. And detachable quiver. Now this is a cheaper quiver. You buy them at like some cheaper places, but this is actually one of the most solid. This is a True Glow, one of the most solid quivers I've ever had. I love these things, but they're super cheap, and you can get the whole package. I'm actually selling it with the arrows and everything like that. So anyway, there's no reason, if you, or if you're getting into traditional, if you're getting into archery, or if you're trying to get someone else into archery, let's just say it's your wife, your kid, your buddy, your dad, or whatever, what have you, there's no reason why you have to spend $1,500, $2,000 on a whole complete bow setup when you can be out the door hunting with something like this. And just look for overall packages too. for, you know, easily under $500. Okay, again, this is an older bow, so, you know, I can't ask as much for it, but I mean, you know, a 3-4 year old bow sometimes, which is way faster than this, way, you know, stiffer than this, whatever, what have you. There's no reason why you can't get yourself an out-the-door package just like this. So I'm going to take a shot. I'm going to take a bunch of shots down at that target right there. Okay, and I'm going to do, let's do 3 shots. That's 30 yards. And this is like just because I'm selling it, and I changed out my my hunting arrow was actually heavier than this because it had brass inserts and some heavier tips and stuff, but this is just about 400 grains. Normally I'd like it closer to about, you know, 480, 500, but it works just fine. I'm going to shoot at that orange dot on that deer over there. So I'm 30 yards. Just so you can see the accuracy. It's you know, if you're worried about the accuracy of older bows, here we go. Unless I screw this up. Okay, that went right in the center of that orange dot. And actually, I think that target's so worn out, it might have actually gone through the target. We'll do one more. All right. Why don't we go down and look? I'm going to take you off. I'm going to take you off the tripod here. Sorry, it's a new camera, so I don't really know how to hold it very well. Here, I'll flip you around. Alright, so if you look, here's where I was aiming. I told you this target's kind of wore out. Okay, so that's 30 yards, and I was kind of standing on a little bit of uneven ground there. Take full responsibility for that. But I mean, 30-yard accuracy for these two. This one's all me. I screwed that one up. But look at that. I mean, that's dead nuts. So, you know, if you think that you need to have the latest and greatest and you know, $1,000 bow, $1,500 bow, $2,000, whatever, to get this kind of accuracy, you're out of your mind. You can get an amazing deal. Now, all you got to do, okay, is do a little bit of due diligence. You have to do your homework, and you got to make sure that the bow that you're looking at doesn't have like some recurring kind of problems, like it didn't have a history of broken limbs for some reason, you know, from some manufacturer. Sometimes they go through that. Most of the bows you're going to find are really, really good bows. Okay, so you never know when you're buying used. You never know what someone's done with the bow. You never know if they've been dry fired or been mistreated or bent or derailed because they dry fired it or something like that, and the cams are bent and the limbs are compromised or whatever. So buyer beware. I mean, you're always taking a risk when you're buying something used, but you know, it's one of those things where you just kind of got to roll the dice and take your chances. Like I said, you can get, you know, well under $500. You could be out the door with a really, really nice, you know, with a really, really nice bow. Depending on the manufacturer, you know, too. I mean, pretty much any of them are good. You can get a really good Mathews, a Bowtech, a PSE, an Elite. You know, there's really hasn't been a bad bow produced in like forever. I know there was a history for a few years there with Bowtech. Their limbs weren't so great. Martin, honestly, I would probably stay away from Martin because I've had limbs blow up on Martin, and you know, I just trust me, do some research and stay away from some of these things. But most 99% of the bows you're going to find out there are going to be really good deals, and they're going to get you out in the woods. They're going to get you hunting. So if you're going to do, if you're new to archery and you want to get into archery and you want to get into hunting this year, definitely go check stuff out now, so that you can have your bow and you can be practicing and shooting and tuning and broadhead tuning and all that stuff, so you're ready to go in September or October, whenever your hunting season is. So anyway, there we go. Okay, used bow. I know that wasn't super comprehensive, but I'm going to leave a link to some of these things on here too if you buy a bow and you want to accessorize it yourself after the fact. So I'll leave a site for the rest. Alright guys, so one thing I didn't mention at the end of that video is how to deal with the transactions if you're going to buy for something from online, whether it's Archery Talk or any of these forums or whatever. It's really important that, for me, I pay PayPal. Okay, if I'm buying and selling anything, I do PayPal only. And then they have an option in PayPal, which is you can pay the goods and services fee, which is like 3 or 3.5%, or you can do friends and family, and they don't charge you that, okay? But you don't have any buyer or seller protection when you do the friends and family. So if you're going to buy something and someone says, you know, add 3% or 3.5% PayPal to the price if you're not going to do friends and family. So let's just say it's a $400 bow, then you're going to add, well, 12 bucks, right? That's 3%. Don't make me do 3.5%. But you'll add 12 bucks. So it'll be like a $412 bow. And that is going to get you protection for, you know, if you're getting scammed. So PayPal has a history of what you're paying for and why. If you do friends and family and then you get scammed, someone says, oh, I have this bow over here that I'm going to sell, you send me money, and then you send them money, friends and family, and then they don't send you a bow, or what they send you is a piece of crap, or it's broken, or misrepresented, or whatever, then you are out of luck, okay? So make sure that you do the PayPal, and you really have to incorporate, you know, those extra fees into the overall price. If you're selling, I always make it sure, you know, say, look, it's $425, add 3.5%, or I do 3%, add 3%. But I think the fees might be 3.5% now if you're doing goods and services and not friends and family. And I'm the one selling, and I know I'm not going to scam anybody, but you don't know that. So definitely go for you know, just pay the little bit extra. You're saving a boatload of money by buying a used bow. That's number one. Number two, if you can get pictures of them with the bow, and today anybody can take a video. I mean, anybody can take a video, and we got one of these things, we got phones, it doesn't take much, and have them actually holding the bow, or actually like shooting the bow or something like that, but have them holding the bow, or a picture with them holding the bow, then you know that it's actually that person, okay? You don't want to get scammed, because even if you do go through PayPal and you got to go through the whole you know, process of making a claim and things like that, you don't want to go through that. Trust me, you don't want to go through that. So anyway, so make sure you do PayPal, or you do like an in-person transaction. But of course, you know, in this day and age, you got to be really careful who you meet and where, that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into all that. Make sure, you know, use your head, be smart about it. But okay, so that's it. I just wanted to get that little bit extra for you of you know, when you go through trying to find one of these deals. Once you find a deal, don't, you know, you may be all happy about it. Don't get screwed on the backside of it because you got scammed. So there's a few things to worry about. So luckily, I've never had that. I've never had that issue. I've never had a problem buying or selling from anybody. But I do know lots of people who have. Now, unfortunately, they're the ones that are the very minority, but those are the ones you hear about. So they're like the 1 or 2% of people that might get scammed. And it sucks that it happens, but it does happen. So make sure you protect yourself against that. All right, so final wrap up. Thanks for watching this video. If you like it, like, share, and subscribe. And get on it. Go buy yourself a bow. Go enjoy the outdoors. It's almost hunting season. Practice and get out and be successful and have some fun this fall. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.